فإن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله الله بالهدى ودين الحق يظهره على الدين كله ولو كره المشركون وصلى الله تعالى على خلقه محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم تسليما كثيرا أما بعد وقال سبحانه وتعالى في الكتاب الكريم بعد أعوذ من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين اتقوا الله قولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. Verily our praise and thanks are due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Lord, the Cherisher, sustainer of the world. We praise Him, we seek His help, we seek His forgiveness. We seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the evil of our deeds and our actions, and whomsoever Allah guides, and no one can misguide him, and whomsoever He leads astray, no one can guide him. We bear witness that there is no God, no deity, worthy of being worshipped except Allah alone, bearing no partners. We bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the final slave and messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Verily the best speech of the book of Allah, the best guide is the guidance of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the worst matter and creed of those who innovate. Very such innovative matter is bid'ah. Every bid'ah is misguidance, and every misguidance deserves the blazing fire. So I advise you not to be conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. First and foremost, we want to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for allowing us to be here, for allowing us to enjoy this beautiful weather, for allowing us to remember Allah on a very most important day of Jum'ah. So today's khutbah is in regards to كيف أصل إلى ربي. So how do I journey to reach my Lord? How do I journey to reach the Sustainer, the Lord of the world? How do I get to Him? What are the steps? So upon this journey, we need to take with us some important needs, some important necessities, items that we need to take with us to get us there, to reach Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Of the things that we need in order to reach Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, number one is seeking ilm, seeking knowledge. Talab al-ilm. That seeking knowledge is one of the most vital, important things of all. The reason why is if you don't know who Allah is, then how do you expect to reach Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? So in order to get to you, you have to find out who Allah is. So it is incumbent upon all of us here, young or old, right? Rich or poor, it doesn't matter. All of us here, it's incumbent upon us to seek knowledge, to understand who Allah is. So in order to understand Allah, in order to reach Allah, we have to know who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. So there's no way to reach Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala without seeking ilm, without seeking knowledge, and striving and learning it. Secondly, is gathering our hearts on La ilaha illallah. The orientation, the focus, the motivation, the intent that everything we do is only for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and only for His cause. So اجمع قلبك على لا إله إلا الله. So you gather up your heart, you gather up your intentions, everything else only for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. That all my activities, everything that I do is for my Lord, right? For the Creator, my ma'bud, my worship, submitting myself to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, surrendering my heart and my soul to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is only for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All my acts for ibadat, the ilm, the knowledge, activities, whether it be at home or the family, interactions at work, wherever it may be, all these intentions should be directed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And at the end of the day, these intentions that you do, that you have in your heart, you ask yourself one very important question. You ask yourself, are you pleased with me? Are you pleased with me, Ya Allah? Is Allah pleased with me? So is everything that I'm doing in my life, is it pleasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? So the third thing is striving to attain the actions in our hearts. Striving the actions to attain these actions, these following methods into our hearts. So other things we need to have in our hearts, the action that we do to attain Allah's love and to get close to Allah ta'ala. Number one is the ikhlas. You have to have sincerity. That everything that you do is going to the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The purity of sincerity, seeking knowledge for His cause and His cause alone, and acting upon it. So the first thing is al-ikhlas. So actions are empty forms, and what gives it life is the ikhlas itself. So you can make all these actions, you can do all these good deeds, everything else, but if there's no true intention behind this, then it's wasted. There's no life in that action that you've done. Second thing is al-sidq billah, al-sidq Allah. So having trustfulness in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? Putting your trust, being truthful, be amongst those that they can rely upon. So in one striving. So this truthfulness of yours is by the intention solely. And to study, to learn certain things, to know who Allah is for the heart of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. Not to show off that you know certain knowledge, not to show that you're better than other people because you have a certain degree or a certain piece of paper that's different than somebody else. So that's not the point here. The point is to have truthfulness in the studies that we're striving for. The third quality that we should have in our hearts or taqwa. Having the faith, the fearness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, being conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, making that decision where you decide for yourself, not trying to be on the borderline, but fearing Allah so that you're safe from the things that are to come. Right? So you're safe from it. You're not worried you're gonna fall, entrapment or anything of that sort, but rather you're safe and you're safeguarding yourself to the extent where you're not even getting close to something that is questionable. So any attempt to learn ilm, any attempt to learn the knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is made easy, is facilitated when you obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when you try your best to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It was once asked by Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah. So Imam Shafi'i asked his ustaz, he asked his teacher, he asked him, I have a problem trying to memorize certain things. So this is Imam Shafi'i, keep in mind how noble a man he was. So he went to his teacher and he asked him, I'm struggling here. I'm trying to memorize certain things, but I can't do it. Why is that? What's the reasoning behind this? So the teacher tells him, Inna al-ilma nura, wa nurullah la ya'ti liyaslim. SubhanAllah, it's a very profound statement. He said to Shafi'i rahimahullah, he said to him that the very knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is nur, is light. And nur cannot be descended upon a person who sins. And he's talking to a person who is noble. So SubhanAllah, so knowledge is something that is very, very important. And you have to be pure for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? And you free yourself from the things that are against Allah's amr, against Allah's commandments. So do not disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the fourth that we should have, the quality we should have in our heart, is as-sabr billah. So have patience. The things that we're doing is going to be difficult. Having taqwa, having ikhlas, having sidq, all these things we want to attain, it's going to be difficult. It's going to come in harsh ways. So you have to find a way to be patient in these action reforms. Be patient with who? With yourself. Sometimes the hardest thing to do is salah. Waking up for Fajr, that's hard. So be patient with yourself. Having the ability to wake up in the middle of the night, subhanAllah, everyone's asleep, and you're praying for the Khutbah Allah, be patient with the weather that's out there, that's cold. So be patient with yourself. Right? So these are tests and trials that will come our way, and we can become sincere people if we have patience with ourselves as well. And the fourth thing is to let your body be collected with these following ayahs. So there's 4 ayahs, there's 5 ayahs that we have to envelop our body, our soul, and practice. So this is found in Surah Al-Alaq. So Ijma Jistata ala ayat al-Khamsa. And it starts off, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم. So read the name of your Lord who has sustained you, who has created you. Created man from one germ cell. And read the name of your Lord who is most bountiful, who has taught you the pen and taught you what you did not know. So of these 5 things, there's 3 things we can extract from it. First of all, when it says, so read, recite in the name of your Lord. So start everything off in the name of your Lord. Check your intention when you're doing any action and deeds that is only for the khadr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Secondly, he orders us to read. Iqra. So it's in order for us to understand. Reading is a lot harder than listening. Reading is harder than listening. You have to put in effort. Listening, you just listen. You just listen to what they're saying. You're just absorbing, and that's it. Whereas reading itself, you're reading, you're struggling, you're focusing on the things that you're going to be saying as well. So it requires a lot more effort than listening. So it requires struggle against our own nafs, our own desires. Sometimes when we recite the Quran, we start off, we read the first few pages, we're okay. After 3, 4, 10 pages, we get tired. We get tired of our voice, we get tired of just sitting there, we get tired of reading. Right? So reading itself is an art, a sign of patience, having struggle within itself. And second and thirdly, in order to understand something, In order to make it real, you have to write it down. As Allah says, He says, He taught us with a pen. He taught us with a pen. So it's not sufficient to say that I went, I sat down and listened to muhadara and that was it, and I absorbed everything else. No, it wasn't enough. You have to, in order to get it and to practice it, to maintain it, you have to write it down. So when I collect my thoughts, focus on what's being taught, and I write it down, then I learn. So that's how you learn. So one of the biggest pet peeves of the teacher that we can't stand is when somebody comes into our class and he has nothing, no supplies, no paper, no pen, nothing, and he's not ready to learn. So Allah is telling us here that we as a student of knowledge, we have to have this on hand, right? A paper, a pen, ready to learn. I remember our ustads back when we were studying the days that if you find a piece of paper that's on the floor, you would pick it up because they felt that this is a sign of knowledge. Or paper or pen or any of that sort, they had respect for these objects because these are the means of knowledge. They wouldn't disrespect it in that manner. So the question is, what are we learning? Right? So we spoke in the beginning that one of the key things, journey that we need to take with us to meet Allah is knowledge, right? So what are we learning? So what are you reading? What do you want to acquire? Is it just worldly affairs, worldly dunya stuff that you want, and you take with your master's, your bachelor's, and everything else, and that's it? Or you're trying to acquire something, some knowledge that you want to know to get you close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if you notice in the Quran, Allah states in many, many verses, He says, "I'lam wa a'lamu," which means to know. He's giving us an explanatory to know. He's telling us in order that you should learn. Right? 31 times in the Quran. He's ordering us to learn. So you have to keep in mind when Allah tells you, "I'lam wa a'lam," know what? What is He commanding you to do? So we have to pay attention to what's behind. What is the following verse that states, "I'lamu"? What is He referring to? What do we have to learn here in this case? So He gives us an example. He says that what should a believer's response be when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands him to do or don't do? When He orders you to do something to do or don't do, what should you do? Right? So what is the consequence if you turn away? So He says, يا أيها الذين آمنوا استجيبوا لله والرسول إذا دعاكم لما يحييكم واعلموا أن الله يحول بين المرء وقلبه وأنه إليه تحشرون. I know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala intervenes between man and his heart, and that unto Him He shall be gathered. So Allah gives you an order. He says, know certain things. So you have to find out what is He telling us to do. If He tells us to do it, we stop, we drop everything, and you do it. That's it, no questions asked. Because Allah ordered us to do so. So if we maintain these ayahs that He tells us to do, right, what's going to happen? So if Allah commands us, do a certain act, what should we do? We should, number one, respond. Willingly. And not lagging behind or doing things really slowly, but doing with haste. Right? You want to do it right away when Allah commands us to do it. Right? That's the first thing we should do. Whatever Allah commands us, whatever the Messenger commands us to do, we do it right away with obedience. Without anything. If we prohibit certain things, we stop it right away. Why? Why is it important to follow these instructions? Because every command and every prohibition that aims at giving us life in our heart. So whatever Allah tells us to do and not do, it gives us enrichment in our hearts and our soul. It makes us who we are, it makes us alive. If we listen to the commandments. Right? For example, if He tells us don't lie, it's good for our heart. He tells us to pray 5 times a day, it's good for our soul. Right? He tells us to go to Hajj and do all these things that we have to do, all these a'mal salihat. Then it's good for our soul. He knows us more than we know ourselves. So that's best for us. What if they don't respond? So He's calling upon me. I mean, as a parent, you have a child and you're calling your child and he's not even listening to you, he's not responding, you get really mad. Right? You get really mad because he's not responding. So Allah is talking to us and He's calling upon, but we don't respond. What does Allah feel? What's the exchange? If you do not respond to Allah's call, no, then you have to learn one thing. Know one thing about yourself. That He, Allah will allow my heart to deviate from the deen itself. And He will put obstacles in my way. So the minute He gives orders, if you choose to push away, decide, you know what, I don't care, Allah is going to make your heart, your life full. Right? So it's going to make your heart deviate from the deen itself. Not only that, it will make obstacles in your way as well. So I have to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at all costs. So He tells us that if we don't obey Allah, what's going to happen? Our whole life is a fitan, is a trial, tribulations. He warns of these fitans that's going to happen, that's going to afflict human being. He says, واتقوا فتنة لا تصيبن الذين ظلموا منكم خاصة واعلموا أن الله شديد العقاب. And fear the fitna, and fear the trial, and fear the tribulations, which affects not only those of you who do wrong, and know that Allah is strict in punishment. So if you decide to say, you know what, I don't care, I'm not going to respond to Allah's call, then Allah says, what? I'm going to hold you accountable for your actions. He is shadid al-iqab. He is severe in retribution. He will take you by your forearm and he will destroy all of us and destroy the previous nation that happened before us as well. So it's a reminder for ourselves that if we choose not to obey Allah, then we're the one who's at loss here, not Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what are these fitna? What are these trials? What are these tribulations that Allah wants to test us with? Number one, the opportunity to obey Allah azza wa jalla. The opportunity to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number two, the opportunity to disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The opportunity to disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number three, people around us. So what is the opportunity to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? So when Allah calls us, He gives an opportunity to do something that is good, what should we do? Respond to it. Do it quickly, right? If you do something, you're ahead of everybody else. You're ahead of the game. If you try to lag behind and you try to do your own thing, you're just taking your time, then you're going to be at loss. You're going to be in the back row. So he reminds me, he says, وَالسَّابِقُونَ الْأَوَّلُونَ مِنَ الْمُهَاجِرِينَ وَالْأَنصَارِ وَالَّذِينَ اتَّبَعُوهُمْ بِإِحْسَانٍ رَضِيَ اللَّهُ عَنْهُمْ وَرَضُوا عَنْهُ وَأَعَدَّ لَهُمْ جَنَّاتٍ تَجْرِي تَحْتَهَا الْأَنْهَارُ خَالِدِينَ فِيهَا أَبَدًا ذَلِكَ الْفَوْزُ الْعَظِيمُ. And as for the first and the foremost of those who have forsaken the domain of evil, and of those who have sheltered and secured their faith, as well as those who follow them in the way of righteousness, Allah is well pleased with them, and they are pleased with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I can't imagine being amongst the Sahabas, where Allah said, radiallahu anhu, He's giving them that time, brother on earth, saying, I'm pleased with you. Are you pleased with me? SubhanAllah. I mean, they paved their way in Jannah. They sacrificed everything. They knew what the reality was. They sought the knowledge that needs to be, sought. So they went and they seek the knowledge that needs to be sought. So they did all these things because they wanted to prepare themselves to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as well. So that's the first category. The second one that I said, that who chooses to disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, these are the hypocrites. Right? They use every opportunity to disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah says that, but among the Bedouins who dwell around you are the hypocrites. And among the people of the prophets too, there are such that has grown insolent in hypocrisy. Though you don't know, but we know who they are. We shall cause them to suffer doubly, and they will be given to an awesome suffering. So those who choose to do certain things, they pray for the sake of other people being seen by other people, or to show out certain things, but for that cause alone, then they themselves will be punished by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the third quality is those who acknowledge their misdeeds. We are going to fall, and we're going to fail miserably, time and time again. But it's how you pick yourself up, and how you go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that counts most. The actions that at the end of the day, before you die, your last breath, that's what's going to count more than anything else. How are you going to be caught? Are you going to be caught off guard? Are you going to be ready for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? How is your action in this moment in time? So our iman fluctuates. It goes up and it goes down. It's a roller coaster ride every single time. Right? When things goes well, mashallah, our iman is like this high. When things go bad, you ask Allah, Ya Allah, why is this happening to me? So you're questioning your own faith, you're questioning yourself, you're questioning everything around you. Right? So it's going to go up and down, and that's the reality of it. But the truth of the matter is that at the end of the day, you have to turn back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That Allah is the one who's going to help you in all affairs of your life. So, certain points that we have to get across. Number one is that sins have consequences. Sins have consequences. So don't take it lightly where, I've sinned, no big deal, everyone's doing it, so it's halal. We make it like that. It's a generalized thing now. So if he does it and she does it and everyone does it, then it's okay. No, it's not okay. Two wrong doesn't make a right. It would never make right. So we have to understand ourselves, know where we're coming from, right? If everyone's doing it, then be that one person who's not going to be doing it. So sins have consequences. If you aim to seek knowledge, if you aim to know who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, then there's no way two things can fit in one glass. Right? You can't mix certain things. It's not going to work. So you have to empty out all these things that are bad and cleanse yourself out so that way you have the good inside of you. So generally the side of the response to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands is to, in the prohibition of the heart, it emphasizes the importance of the state of the heart, the deen itself. Right? So purity of the heart, purity of faith, good deeds are all important actions. These will get us closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as well. So one thing you have to keep in mind is that learn your heart. Learn yourself, know who you are. Learn what state of and condition is your heart. Everyone knows their condition, right? Us from the outside, if I look at you, mashallah, you're perfect human beings, right? But you within yourself, you know yourself. You know how good of a person you are, and you know how bad of a person you are. Everyone knows, right? So you check yourself before anything else, and see where you're at in the state of your heart, the condition of your heart. If it needs to be fixed, and if it needs to be put in a place where that's more secure, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's trust, then we can put ourselves in that position, right? And removing ourselves from the things that are evil, the things that are bad. And know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is our supreme guardian. At the end of the day, it's Allah's help that we seek. Without His help, without His protection, we are nothing. We can't do anything on our own free will, right? So Allah is the one who guides whoever He wants. If He chooses to save your fitrah, from the time you're born all the way until you die, that's up to Allah. But it's up to us to seek that knowledge, to know so that we can be close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to ask Allah for His guidance, ask Allah for His protection as well. And He says, وَإِن تَوَلَّوْا فَاعْلَمُوا أَنَّ اللَّهَ مَوْلَاكُمْ نِعْمَ الْمَوْلَى وَنِعْمَ النَّصِيرُ. And if they turn away from righteousness, they know that Allah is your Lord, your supreme. How excellent is your Lord, it's a supreme, and how excellent is the giver of helper. So Allah is the one who helps, Allah is the one who gives every actions. And we can only do these things if Allah enables us to do certain actions as well. So 4 things to keep in mind. So believe this with certainty in your heart, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is our patron, He's our guardian, He's our protector, that nothing can ever happen without the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as well. That He is the best excellent protector. If you have Allah to protect you and to look over you, that you don't need anybody else's help. That's all that matters the most. Number 2, no matter who are against me, then He, Allah is always with me in my struggles, in my affairs, in my life. So as long as I have Allah on my side, I'm good to go. Number 3, that I need to be proud. I need to be proud that He is my Mawla, my protector, my sovereign Lord, to be a part of His deen, to uphold His message. And the 4th, that Allah draws to Him by encouraging in struggles and obstacles. So when we obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when we do all these certain things, it's a reminder for us to give, a reminder for ourselves to get close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And on the flip side, if He gives you all these things, tells you about Jannah and Jahannam and all these things, if that's not good enough, then He'll give you the warnings. He will give you warnings after warnings after warnings until it's too late. Right? So He says, that remain conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and know that Allah is superior in retribution. So Allah can take us into account anytime that He wants. He's done it to previous nations, He can do it to us as well. So we remind ourselves that in our acts of ibadat, worship itself is our daily journey to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we have a daily journey to Allah every single day. Every single day we're packing ourselves, our belongings, and getting ourselves ready to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we have to be mindful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this matter, in the sense of taqwa, having the taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as well. And why should we practice taqwa? Because when you are on al-muttaqin, Allah is with you. When you fear Allah, Allah is with you at any time, in any circumstances, and remove all the obstacles that are in our way. Otherwise, He will reward us again and again and again. It's a sign of ar-raheem to bring us back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's sort of like a parent when he sees his child going the wrong way. The first time he'll give him a warning, the second time another warning, third time he might get smacked, right? 4th time, 5th time he'll get grounded and so forth, and things will be taken away. So Allah is reminding us constantly on a daily basis that we should not be caught off guard. When the time comes, in reality, when the time comes, that we were there ready to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as well. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us amongst those who understand and seek knowledge concerning His saying, so that we can be close to Allah as well, inshallah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, wa salatu ala ashrafil mursalin, Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi. So points to remember in our journey to meeting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, things that we should take with us are ilm, gathering all our actions, our deeds, everything to the heart of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As well as striving to attain these things in our hearts, the 5 qualities, al-ikhlas, as-sidq, taqwa, and sabr. And also practicing on the 4 things of the 5 ayahs, but the main thing that we need to extract from it is obviously doing things for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Secondly, seeking knowledge through reading. Third, and writing it down. So to summarize what we just spoke about, inshallah, he tells us we should focus on certain perspective. First of all, know the state of your heart. Know the condition that you're in. If you're in a situation where you're not doing too well, then change that situation. Go with people who are better than that, right? If you have friends that are pulling you down, bring you down, those are not your friends. You want somebody who's going to lift you up all the time, all right? Be in a state of mind where you know yourself more than anything else. Leave sin as is. Do not get close to it. Do not come near it, right? Otherwise, obstacles will be in our way. Our journey to reaching Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be very difficult. It will be hard. Thirdly, know Allah. When you love Him and you fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and having the taqwa in our heart will make our journey a lot easier when we fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And fourthly, dua. So all the one who controls the heart, make our heart steadfast in our deen. So before I end my khutbah, inshallah, it's a great reminder for ourselves that, there's all these actions that we want to do to get close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One of the most important things we need to do as well is to support our masajid, to do a good action that continues to do good, right? Sometimes we're the type of people who do one solid, we do a good deed one time and that's it. That's all she wrote. We're not that. We want to do things with consistency, right? So we continue to give for the cause of Allah, we continue to support our masajid, continue to support all the good causes for the cause of Allah, then we know for sure that we're paving our journey to meeting Allah in a way that's best, inshallah, for us as well. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us amongst those who practice our deen the way it should be practiced, inshallah. So before you guys leave today, when the khutbah is over and the salah is over, inshallah, please stay a few minutes. Brother Ahmad has beautiful words to tell you guys about the banquet which happened last week. A very good outcome that happened, so inshallah, sit down, listen to what he has to say, inshallah, and contribute in any way possible, inshallah. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us amongst those who listen and obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at all times, inshallah. إن الله ملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى محمد ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين ربنا لا تؤاخذنا نسينا أخطأنا ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرارا كما حملته على الذين قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين إن الله يعمل بالإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون وأقيموا الصلاة